First and foremost, I hope everybody has had a good week so far. It is hump day, so it is the middle of the week. If you haven't had a good week so far, hopefully your week turns around and you have a great end of the week. Market is doing some weird things. It's up and down. If you're a trader, this is probably your perfect time to make some good swing trades, especially if you want to get risky. But as we just go through this tumultuous market, we continue to build. So, all right, I got these points in front of me. As I said again, we'll be very efficient, very timely. I'll go through these points, and then we'll just open it up to any questions that people may have. Okay, so last time, or in our last AMA, what we went over were a couple of the things that, I guess 2 AMAs ago and last AMA, were really what was hanging us up and what is the technical delay here and what's causing the date to be pushed back. And what I had mentioned then was the difference between what's called a subgraph and a search API. So instead of launching with subgraph, which would allow us to have the searching and filtering capabilities for simply our own collection, just the alpha pack collection, so our Genesis as well as our base, that's all that would be for. And we could have launched already utilizing that, but that's it. And then after, we have some awesome trades and some trading volume, people buying, selling their NFTs that they mint, maybe speculating off of that, the marketplace will be doing well. But right after that, when that ends, now what? We want to be able to list other collections immediately. And so that's really what, pushed us to immediately go and shift over to the search API, which was the end all be all. And so we've made very significant progress on that search API. So significant I don't want to give necessarily dates, but I have some dates here from the internal development team. And just to give a rough estimate, that should be finalized by the beginning of next week. So completely finished. And all that is left after that is just a big final round of QA testing and any bug fixes that come along with that QA testing. So in terms of what tasks are left, there's obviously, internal, specific tasks for that search API. But once that's completed, that's the final piece of the puzzle. And after that, it's just making sure that the puzzle is nice and flat, nice and smooth, perfectly in order. And as long as everything is working well, that's when we immediately will be announcing the dates, because we'll just go and push it out a few days so that we can get some marketing going, get to those announcements up, and make sure that everybody has time to prepare themselves. So yeah, right after that is launch. So let's go into what does that mean at launch and why was this delay there? Like I said, we moved from the subgraph capability of only launching with our own collection to moving to the search API because that is the end all. And what does the end all mean? Well, that means that we can immediately out the gate launch on all chains and support all collections. We have that functionality immediately. There will be no waiting in terms of us launching our own collection, having the auction, having the mint, and then a delay in terms of when we can go and cater to our partner projects, all of the projects that have been graciously and patiently waiting to list on our marketplace. We can list them immediately. And so the moment we get the search API completed, we are also going to be scheduling the initial listing and listing parties and mint parties as well for other projects that we already know want to mint through us immediately. And those marketing announcements will go out right away too. There's been a lot of stuff that's kind of been funneled and held at a choke point here with the delay of getting the technical functionality out the door. And once that's complete, that just means that we can now finally put dates on not only the release of our own projects, but the releases of other projects that want to rely on our marketplace to either use it as a launchpad or use it as a premium listing service that offers different functionality than other marketplaces. And so I really want to hit that home there, is that the moment we launch, the moment that you see the marketplace, we won't have collections during the auction. We won't have collections probably during the whitelist and OG mint, but I believe exactly right after, and we're still kind of determining when we want to put those up there because we don't want to take away from our own auction, but we do want to make sure that the moment people are interested in viewing other collections, they will be there. And they could be there the moment we mint. So be ready for that. That is the biggest change and the biggest update and the biggest reason we have made these delays, is because we don't want to have to layer on updates. We don't want to have to iterate on top of something that was definitely not half-assed, but pushed out quickly, because we feel the incentive to get it out because of the community, because of the sentiment around this already very impatient space. So that right there, biggest update. We also mentioned last AMA gasless transactions. That's something that we have already fleshed out and are working on as well. We already know the design and the structure for those gasless transactions and how that will work. The only thing that is required that we don't yet have and probably will not have, not probably, but we're almost sure will not have by the time we launch, is what's called an order management system that is needed to be built into this gasless transaction system that we're building, which will come shortly after launch. So it takes a bit more resources and power. We're focusing all on the search API so that we can list any collection on any chain. I will get into a couple other functions of that search API that are very unique and getting me super excited. But that the gasless transaction system will come shortly after. Luckily, even though we will be immediately on all chains, including Ethereum, which unfortunately sometimes has high gas fees, luckily we're in a time period where in this bear market, the gas prices are not too high. So hopefully before there's any significant volume that ramps up those gas prices, by that time we'll have those gasless transactions out. Let's go to the next and final point that I have from a big point, and then I do want to circle back to the search API, is that because of these delays and because we've been focusing on the technical aspect of stuff, obviously our NFT collection was completed from the studio that we hired to complete it. There were a lot of mistakes and errors from that studio where we had to spend a lot of time to really flesh things out and make it perfect in terms of the names of the traits, how they'd show up specifically in the metadata on the marketplace, all of that. We even went even further, and we wanted to make sure that these Apex, these top 10, these top 1 of 1, or top 10 1 of 1, are going to be perfect. They're going to be the best of the best. There's no doubt about it that they are far better and far more, artistically intensive. They're created with so much more effort and energy and detail. There's the word I was thinking of. And we've done that with every single Apex now. So we've already shown a lot of the Apex. Actually, we've shown them all, the original. But we've since updated all of them. And you've seen some of them. You've seen the robot in our NFT conference graphics. But luckily, our artists that we have on staff are just absolutely amazing. They're killing it, and they're killing it, and they're absolutely able to do anything that we want. And so we've got Natalie up here too. I'd love to hear from her in a bit, right after I finish my little rant. But thank you so much for everything that you and Gabby have done. Absolutely killing it. It looks fantastic. And because of that, we've also gone and we are making touch-ups on the Ronin and the Loan. So those will be even better as well. So I can't wait to show you guys that. So at the same time, we obviously have multiple silos, if you will, within the company. We've got the development and engineering side. We've got the marketing side. We've got the reach out side. We've got the mod side for the Discord. And then we've obviously got the artist side. And so every silo, if you will, can work independently. And so we sometimes hear people like, well, why are you focusing on art? You should be launching. Well, it's not like our developers are making the art, and it's not like our artists are writing the code. And so they can work independently, they can work in parallel, and they can get things done while we were focusing on other things. Last point I want to make is to circle back real quick on the search API and what that means for us. Well, what it means is that it's custom built. It was custom built between John, Bad Shogun, and Quix from Notify. And those two wizards are just absolutely insane. They're just the most proficient developers, especially when they're teamed up together. And they've managed to push this out, in terms of the lift in general, what it is, push this out so much more quickly than I initially thought possible. But not only get it out as a canned, similarity or a search API that's very similar to other ones that are out there, it has so much more functionality than any other search API, meaning our marketplace will have so much more filtering and searching capability than any other marketplace. I'm not going to name any names. I don't know if anyone has been looking into the NFT marketplace space, but a couple have launched recently. One of them with the company, the parent company, over $1 billion in cash reserves. And they launched after saying they've spent months and months and months developing this marketplace, and the only search functionality that's on it is price filtering. Oh, my headset just turned off. Was price filtering as well as image type. That's it. You get to see what's the price, can we filter it from low to high, and is it a PNG, is it a GIF, is it an SVG, is it a JPEG, whatever it is. And that's it. With what we have, we'll be able to do stuff like searching for any NFT with the gold trait in any collection on Ethereum. Or you want to find any collection or any NFT that has an ICE trait in any collection on Ethereum, AVAX, and when we get to Solana, on Solana. Anything like that. The robustness and it's the complexity of the searching, I've never seen anything like it. So that's one thing that I'm super excited about, the fact that it's all custom from the ground up, built by people that have been frustrated with the search functionality in other marketplaces. So that's the majority of updates I got. I'm very happy that everyone has joined today to listen on these updates. These are very bullish updates. We're very, very excited. Like I said, after this weekend's up, pretty much by the beginning of next week, we will just be testing, and that is when we will announce dates. So we are right there at the very cusp of launching, and we do really appreciate everybody's patience. And you know, it's almost like a godsend that at the same time that we're building, the market's kind of just going sideways. It's going a little up and down, but it's relatively just moving sideways, and it's kind of allowing us for this time to continue to develop and to really put out a premium product. We see a lot of other protocols pushing a product sooner than later because they also feel that incentive to push something out to these, you know, impatient communities. When I say impatient, I don't mean that as an insult to everyone listening. I just mean that in the most honest sense possible. Everybody here knows that there's a lot of impatience in this community, in the Web3 community, if you will, just because we're all always at our computer, and developers love to work for 12 hours a day, and some of them work harder than others, and some people put out things faster than others, and it's difficult to kind of get a good eye on, you know, how long things really take. So either way, I'll keep rambling. Appreciate everyone being here, and if anyone else up on this panel real quick wants to make some updates, we'd love to hear them, and then we can open up for questions. And if nobody wants to talk, that's fine too. But also at the same time, while I'm waiting, if anyone wants to come up and talk here, if anyone's got any questions, please raise your hand. I'm happy to answer anything. I know I laid a lot on you guys, but any questions you have, I'm ready. Oh, and we do have AMA questions I forgot in the text. So let me look in here and see if there's anything. Well, Catman, you mentioned, yep, I'm looking at it right now. Who just put that point? Pig Boy. Mentioned launching on all chains. Is that really all chains or Avalanche and ETH? Well, that means that all ERC20 compatible chains. So, you know, that means that with pretty much a click of a button, we can launch on Avalanche, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Phantom, any of those. Solana is really the only, you know, other chain with an NFT presence would be Solana, I'd say. And with Solana, it would just take a little bit extra work to adjust the contracts to be meant for that that chain. It's just not EVM compatible. I didn't mean ERC20, by the way. I meant EVM compatible. So anything that's compatible with Ethereum Virtual Machine. So, like those chains I just mentioned, anything that you can just quickly add to your MetaMask, practically. That's what we can do. And Solana, I do know, is going to be a big focus of ours to get onto as soon as possible. I actually don't know of a marketplace. Actually, I think I do. But there's not many that are cross-compatible between Solana and Ethereum.
Yeah, that was everything you just said there, Tyler. It was really well said. I know I'm really excited just because I can see the hard work that's going on behind the scenes, and I know the community here. You know, everybody that's in here right now. Like I see you, and I also know most of you. I've talked to most of you very long time. We absolutely appreciate the support. It does seem like it is taking a while, and we are working as hard as possible to get this out to you. But one of the biggest things that I tend to stick to when it comes to Alpha Shares is whenever I'm out talking to other people, whether it be in spaces or whether it be in just Twitter or other Discords, one thing happens when I start talking about Alpha Shares, and people are like, hold on, you're creating a platform where the community, the holders have a stake in it. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening here. You know, it's DeFi, decentralized finance, and that really drives home. And I see a lot of overwhelming positive reactions to that because it's something different. It's not it's not out here like I'm not going to drop any names whatsoever, but in this space, you have a lot of projects that come out, and it is for the money grab. It is for lining their pockets, and we've all learned our lessons investing in all these different things, and just being on this team and being behind the scenes, I know without a doubt that this was created for the community. It was created for the people like every one of you that are in DeFi. And the reason you're in DeFi is because it has the chance to change your life for the better. Well, not only is this something that has the chance to change your life for the better, but it also has the chance to change DeFi and crypto as a whole for the better, and creating business models for other people to look to. Business models that are morally ethic, right? So when I look at Alpha Shares and I look at what we're doing here, it's very important, in my personal opinion, for the future of DeFi as a whole, and setting kind of that standard, setting that first mover advantage of kind of doing something that no one really ever has decided to do. Because what you have in DeFi is a bunch of developers that have a really good idea, and they create something that generates a whole lot of revenue. Well, we created something that generates a whole lot of revenue for the people that decide to invest in it, decide to buy one of these NFTs and come along for the ride all the way for however long this whole crypto thing lasts. If you're bullish and you believe that crypto is the future, then you're in the right place, because we do too. And I just wanted to add that in, because a little bit of a rant there, sorry, but it really is, it's heartfelt for me. Like, this is something that has turned into my life, and I just wish that more people that actually have a platform in DeFi thought more about this when they were creating their protocols. So, be the change that you wish to see. That is almost like the mission statement of Alpha Shares. But thank you guys for coming out. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you, Daniel. And yeah, we got John here too now. John, if you want to answer any of these questions over voice, you can too, if you'd like. But or I could go over them, what you're answering in the AMA channel as well.
I'm just getting caught up and answering what I can.
Gotcha. Yeah, so while you answer, I'll just go over them so that people that might not have the channel open. A couple questions that were being asked and are being responded to. Pigboy, I'll answer your question first. You asked, what does this Notify partnership entail? Do they get compensated in some sort of way? Seems like devs from Notify is helping quite a bit, and I know things aren't free. Yeah, Quix has been helping quite a bit. They're awesome over there. They have been just absolutely great to work with. And obviously, when you work with someone, there is compensation involved. They know that this is a startup, though, and so they're very friendly in the aspect of understanding what it's like there. But obviously, we give away 70% of all transaction fees to the community, and the protocol has 30%. And it's up to our I just lost the word there, but our discretion, there we go, to determine what those splits are and what we can help out other developers and team members with. So yes, they are getting paid, and I can say that, but that is all. Shulky came ready to get involved as normal. I think that question got answered for you, but yes, so the best way to get involved right now is to buy 100 billion alpha tokens. That is going to be the cost of one NFT. If you want to bid on the Genesis auction, then you will need to hold 2 trillion tokens, and that will get you basically your pass into the auction. And from there, you can bid on the Genesis NFTs with AVAX. And you answered that question, Pigboy, so there we go. Let's see. So when we launch, projects on Ethereum can list on Alpha Marketplace. Not right away, so John was saying it's not concurrent. We're going to be rolling it out soon after, because the level of effort to get it onto Ethereum is not significant. Obviously, being EVM compatible, the contracts are relatively identical. So you just have to adjust some contract addresses and point it in the right direction. And there probably are some other things that I don't know, and that's for John to talk on, but it's all you guys really need to know is it's not that significant, and it's a main effort for us to roll out very soon after. We have the majority of our partner projects that want to list with us are on Ethereum, and we also understand the majority of the volume in the NFT space is on Ethereum. So it is a very big effort to get there first. We strongly believe that market conditions are not a deterrent. Yeah, so, oh yeah, you asked, will future market conditions delay the launch, aka if Bitcoin goes down to 14 or 15? No, it will not. When I mentioned that before, what I kind of touched on saying that because the market's trading sideways, it's it's kind of a feel good that we are able to build during this time, because for one, being in a bear market and building is just, for one, it shakes out a lot of the non-convicted. That sounds kind of like a criminal, but people that aren't convicted in their own projects, it shakes them out. People that are scammers, it shakes them out, and only true builders. God, my voice is going away. Only true builders and innovators stay. And the builders and the innovators that stay get to use this time to really build and focus. You do have a lot of incentive and a lot of stress, really, in a bull market to push out your product as soon as possible, like as soon as humanly possible. And so during this market, it does relieve a bit of that stress. But John, if you want to answer something, I know you unmuted your mic, so I'll shut my gob.
It was on a previous question regarding the multi-chain capabilities. I just want to touch on the fact that this search API, I think, is going to be the best search capability out of any marketplace that I've seen. It's pretty impressive, and I don't want to say too much more. I really just can't wait till we can show everybody what it can do. But yeah, I think it's unparalleled. So I'll leave it at that.
Yep, I think you might have joined after, but I did kind of hint at a bit of the unparalleled functionality. So yeah, I was super excited about it too. That's probably the most exciting thing, just because we see, I guess, the lack of that in other marketplaces. So very exciting to have that competitive edge.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an answer for the one that Catman also asked as well. And I know that John did answer it, but just a little bit of education here. There's a bill that's trying to be passed right now for preliminary crypto regulation. If you haven't looked into it and you are anybody that's in this chat right now, you're in DeFi. Get up to speed. Check out that bill. If you need a link to it, DM me. But the TLDR of that is essentially they're banning algo stablecoins. Those are going to get banned 100%. There is zero clarity on NFTs. They are not looking at NFTs whatsoever in this recent bill, and it's actually the only bill that has stated anything about regulations towards crypto. So we have some, and this is US only, absolutely, by the way, if you live in the United States. If you don't live in the United States, you don't have to worry about this. But yeah, and then actually they're trying to help innovation. They state in the bill that they want to establish financial regulatory sandboxes, which is basically just having resources and tools without being the risk of being shut down by regulators. So it's just kind of they're doing some things that are pretty interesting here. It's overall, in my opinion, it's good. You need regulation in this space to move forward, but a lot of people are not going to like it. But if you live in the United States, you should check up on that bill. And to fully answer that question, Catman, they're not even looking at NFTs yet, so no worries there.
Yeah, and either way, a lot of regulation, especially if it's a proposed regulatory bill, for it to actually go into effect, it's going to be at a minimum 2 years, 3 years at least for enforcement. And so that's when, once it gets proposed, once it gets passed, that's when obviously anyone that's out of God, I can't think of the word, but when you are not abiding by the correct rules, then you can shift and you can pivot and you can figure out what you need to do to make sure that you're compliant. There we go. That's the word. Yeah. And so either way, I think that this is a time where we do the things that we can. This is a space that is, it has always been the wild, wild west, and that can be treated in many negative ways, but it can also be treated as an open playing ground for us to innovate and grow and do things that have never been seen before. And that's exactly what this project is. We are doing things that have never been seen before. Almost every single aspect of our project, our entire tokenomics, our entire NFT collection, our marketplace, what we have going on after the marketplace, how we've grown, the method we use to grow, everything is unique about us. We have not done anything that is forked. Every single thing is because we have been in the space and we have looked at what can we do to innovate and to adjust and to push this space into realms that have never been touched before. And that's obviously going to step on a lot of regulatory toes, because when you have that much freedom, regulators want to regulate it. They want to make sure that you can't go and scam people, which is the good side of regulation, but limiting things obviously has an impact on all. So our focus here, in actuality and full transparency, is to get as successful as possible and grow this company to be as best as it possibly can be. At that point, we will have all of the resources necessary to pivot dependent on what regulations come about. And so that's the main focus. And I like to be more transparent with the community than most people are, and most people wouldn't even tell you that.
Yeah, I do want to add to that, just to give everybody an idea. In the eyes of the SEC, every cryptocurrency is a security. So yeah, like there's no differential thing there.
Well, it's like every crypto can be one and everyone can't be one. They don't know. They said Ethereum isn't, but they've said some are, and they don't say a differentiator. So there's no precedent is the issue. So the moment that precedent comes up, that's when we can actually determine how to be compliant based on precedent. And so we have done, to go back to, oh my God, my voice is going away today, but to go back to John's answer to Catman, we've done a lot of due diligence on it. We've spent a good amount of money retaining attorneys and making sure that we do the right things and that we're not stepping on toes. So, but the whole concept of this is really to innovate, and it's to do things differently. You can't make sure that you are perfectly within compliant regulation if regulatory bodies are regulating things that are existing and we're doing things that have never yet existed. So yeah, very unknown, but very exciting. That's the whole point. But yeah, those are the main updates I got. I don't know. I actually don't see any hands up, but I'd love to answer any questions. So if anyone's got any questions that they got, it looks like the AMA questions channel has turned into a chat. But go ahead, and anyone that's got any questions, please go ahead and answer or ask them, and I will answer them. And if we got nothing, that means I did my job well.
Well, I do see that Natalie is up here. If she wanted to say anything.
Yeah, Natalie, if you're here.
Because you were talking about the apexes and whatnot.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
How is everyone today?
Good, how are you?
Great. Actually, a little late on delivery. I was meant to hand in a couple Ronins, and I'm working on them as we speak. But, no, just I did want to ask the community about what they think, because now that we're having to actually rework, and that Tyler has announced it, we're reworking on the Ronin with like a different theme now. They're not so vast and like random. Now they're actually all related to should I be saying that, Tyler? Cut me off before
you can give some
Yeah?
hints. Just don't give any
Okay.
specifics. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
No specifics. No, I just wanted to ask if the community actually likes lore. You know, if you think that makes the NFTs more interesting.
Oh yeah, everyone give
kinda-
feedback in the AMA questions while she's talking, by the way. Go ahead, keep going.
Like, let me know if you like the lore, because we're trying to tie them up, the Ronin, to the apexes in unique ways, right? So you can see the link and you can see how they match, and you can sort of like see the thin line between them. And I think it's gonna be pretty cool. I don't know if you guys are really into that, but me as a gamer, that's the first thing I look for when I see a project that has art involved. And of course, this whole project is not about the art, but the art is a part of it. So I just thought, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
It looks like people are saying yes. People are saying lore would be cool if it was a future comic book NFT collection. Oh, I mean they love doing comics. That's actually an idea we had talked about.
Oh yeah,
Is-
Gabby and I, we love doing comics, and we absolutely would totally do it if the bosses allow us. For sure.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something we're looking into. And no, I like what you're giving out. I think that there's no reason to not get people excited about what's been built. You haven't given anything specific, so we can still keep it a surprise when people mint them, or auction on them, if you will, or see them at auction. But yeah, no, I think that's good to bring up as well. thank you for remembering that, because that is a big aspect that we wanted to kind of get in there. Is before the Apex kind of had some lore behind them. You know, they're all one of ones, and we even had a lore contest for people here to go and give it some lore. But you know, once we got to the Ronin and the Lone, they were a bit more algorithmically put together. You know, they were all just put together randomized. And so we've made it so that these other Apex, or not Apex, but other Genesis are going to also be almost just as unique. So yeah, we can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait to finish them up and show you guys.
Yeah, I saw someone asked if we can see one more tonight. You know, maybe we'll talk as a team after, and maybe we'll drop one as an announcement tonight or tomorrow. We'll see, but they are so great that I do want to keep them under wraps. And I don't know, Natty, do you want to show them, or do you want to keep? Actually, John unmuted. He's like, no, we're not showing them. We're keeping them.
No, I'm just really excited about the fact that we get to reveal these again. Like, I'm equally excited about the brand new Apex that you've done, and these new Ronin. And I haven't even really seen the new Ronin yet, so this is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to it.
I think we should let the people have the voice and let them vote. So, you know, if they want it a surprise, if they want to see it, and if they want to see which one they want to see it. But it's up to John and Tyler, of course. So I'm just dropping the idea and then sneaking out.
We'll get a feel for it. We'll see how the community responds with this, and then we'll see what they want to see. But yes, Alpha on Alpha. We got a lot of Alpha today. We've got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff has been in the works, especially like last AMA when it passed by. This is all was being done, and now, you know, we're a lot further along. The final touches are being done. You know, the art is you know, we're getting to the last last tasks that really, in terms of our collection, are being done. Really just focusing on these Ronin and these Lone. So we just can't wait to get this out, really. Let me see if there's any questions that I missed in here. I think I saw a question about the taxes being turned off before. Where did I see that question? Did you delete it?
Crypto Crawler.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, not before launch, but at the opening of the auction. Let's see, you've got some people typing. Appreciate the enthusiasm with everyone today, though. I love it. And if you guys want to, and everyone too, blow up chat after this and make sure that everyone in chat too gives some opinions on what they want to see. Maybe I'll put an announcement out. We can give maybe one sneak peek tonight.
Also, I'm just going to take a second to say this. Tomorrow, there's going to be an announcement going out tomorrow for the NFT conference. There's $100 in AVAX going out to a listener at the end. So in this bear market, if you're looking for a free $100 for literally sitting in a Twitter space and listening to projects talk about their projects, go to our Twitter account, go to these spaces. It's linked up, it's pinned. You can't miss it. Set a reminder. Show up. $100. What would you think to yourself right now? What would you do with $100 right now?
Buy some Alpha. No financial advice.
Well, either way, super easy way to make $100. You just sitting in a Twitter space. Go set a reminder right now. Go to our Twitter. Go to the first tweet, the pinned tweet. Set a reminder. Super easy, free, $100.
You guys are in something really early here too with these Twitter spaces, these NFT conferences. You know, we expected to only have a few before we launched, and then really get into the whole point of these, right? But we've continued doing them regardless, and we've grown in popularity in every single spaces. We grow in terms of how many people cycle through, the total number of listeners. And the moment we launch, what this spaces is going to be is, as our marketplace grows and as people want to be listed, be verified, be up at the top, be featured, they will want to pitch in front of not only ourselves as community founders, but they will also want to pitch in front of communities. They want to make sure that people understand what their collection's about. And as you've seen, as anyone that's in here that's been to our NFT conferences, we only bring the best of the best. You know, some might slip in that are a little bit awkward, but 90% of the projects that come up are actually premium, very professional projects, and we're very, very confident about that and very happy about that. But looks like we got a vote going, so it looks like we want to see more Ronin than Apex for the reveal. That Ronin, we might be doing final touches on the Ronin, though. We don't want to push Natalie too much. Let's see.
Well, this just means that the Ronin reveal will come before the new Apex reveal, and that's fine.
That's true. Natalie, when do you think? And I don't want to put you on the spot here, but when do you think that you'd want to show off one of these Ronin?
I mean, I'm working on them right now, like as the AMA is going on. So I could like show a screenshot. I don't know, or you can wait until I finish, which will be another like 30 minutes. Up to you.
Maybe stream in the end 30 minutes of it?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. When we end this, you could do that because we'll have to hop out and go to the other channel for it. We can't stream it here.
Sounds good.
Ooh, cool. I like that. Yeah, I can't wait to see that. Yeah, there you guys heard it. You're gonna be able to see the Ronin in progress. Sorry, I was reading. Hello guys, I'm new here and I'm learning about the world of AlphaShare. Can you explain a little bit about your collection to me? I will give you the best 30-second to 1-minute pitch that I possibly can. Oh, I haven't done this in a little bit. All right. So, what we are, first and foremost, I guess overarching, is a blockchain technology company. We aren't just an NFT collection. We aren't just a token. And we aren't just a company that says, oh, look at us. We're a blockchain technology company. What does that mean? Well, we're releasing multiple products. We launched in a very specific and unique way. We launched using our Alpha token, which was a reflection token, meaning it has taxes on the buy and the sell. And those taxes fed a treasury, which basically fed our war chest to allow us to develop something that's actually real, a real business in this space. We knew that growing a real business takes some initial capital, and so we used the unique function of a reflection token to grow that capital. We luckily did it before the bull market or the bear market took everyone over, and we grew a significant treasury. We took that treasury and we decided to go immediately headfirst into our first development, which is the first product that we will be releasing. We've got multiple in the works that are coming in parallel, but the first product that we will be releasing that is the subject of all these conversations is our NFT marketplace. The NFT marketplace is something that the NFT economy in general is a multi-billion-dollar economy, and the service providers, if you will, that get to make money in this economy are the NFT marketplaces. They're where money flows, and where money flows through, fees are taken, and those fees are taken as an actual business. This DeFi space was plagued with too many Ponzi-nomic projects that are focused on inflating their token supply or making sure that the tokens that you earn come from a previous or a new person investing and buying those tokens. That's not what we want to do. We want to create a real business. We want to create something with a mission, a vision, a business plan, and an actual economy behind it. Profits. And where do those profits come from? They come from business activity. They don't come from other investors. Those profits are then tokenized and split up, the ownership of those profits, 70% of them are tokenized and split up between the people that own one of our 10,000 NFTs, or if you're staking our token. And so that's the benefit, is if you hold one of our NFTs, you are tokenized as an owner of the AlphaShares brand, and therefore you earn from any of the revenue streams that we put out. After the marketplace comes a DEX, an auto compounder, a lending platform down the road, things of that nature. All of those take fees from, if you will, the TVL, the total value locked of money that flows through these services. Every single service that we put out is going to have unique and better capability than the competition. We will really be pushing a flywheel approach towards this, where every single product that's released feeds into the development and the innovativeness of the next product. So I hope that's a good little pitch there for you. I think that was a little longer than a minute. But yeah, glad you like it. So this AMA questions chat's going hard right now. So yeah, if anyone else has any questions for me though, please ask them right now. If not, we can start hopping in and looking at this awesome Ronin being drawn. Oh, we got a question. Will holders of NFT shares be similar to traditional LLC members' responsibility, meeting hours, taxes? No. So that would be a logistical nightmare. That would be impossible, and that would require KYC for every single person that tokenizes an NFT. And that's not the point of the space. That's not the point of Web3. In my opinion, blockchain technology is all about moving past that. I think that there is real value in why those initial constraints were created, but I think that what blockchain technology enables us to do is push past that. And the NFT is what proves ownership over your share of the business, if you will. And because of that, no, I don't want to have to waste anyone's time of coming into meetings and making sure you're here for hours or having to do certain things. Now we're really trying to innovate the space and do things differently. And since there aren't many constraints yet around how tokenizing someone's ownership through an NFT really affect things from a legal structure standpoint, and a hint for you guys is we will be legally restructuring overseas. And so we're really trying to do everything we can to make sure that we are a business for our community and not a business that's going to be having to abide by a bunch of constrictive rules. I'm not going to go into more detail of where, because that is a long process and a whole other can of worms to get into. The NFT's base is 30.33%, but of what? So that means that a base NFT will initially earn 0.33% per day as the initial rewards that get paid out. That's really just to put emissions back into supply, because when you go and mint an NFT, we are collecting 100 billion alpha, and that 100 billion alpha is coming off of supply, out of circulating supply. And so we want that to come back into circulating supply through the emissions. We don't want the emissions to just kill the chart, and so they're very low at 0.33% per day. That is based off of the 100 billion price, which means it's 333 million tokens per day that will be emitted. That emission is also going to be subject to a decay schedule. So those will decay over time by 33% exponentially, where if you're at 100 and you decay by 33%, you're now at 77%, and then you decay 77 by 33. And so it's going to be into a pretty logarithmic curve. And so the reason for that is because we don't want this to be reliant on static emissions. This is reliant on the dynamic marketplace revenue.
And the decay is such that there is no way to get all of the tokens back into circulation. This protocol is quite deflationary by nature.
Yeah, we actually were just doing a lot of finances, and one of the biggest things is there's actually going to be a massive supply shock after mint, and a permanent massive supply shock, or semi-permanent at least, where we're massively deflationary, and no one else has done that either. Yeah. No one. There's so many things that we are doing firsts on, and it's a bit, I don't want to say nerve-wracking, because when you go into the unknown, you don't know what's there, but it's when you go into the unknown with an educated bet and with reasoning behind what you're doing, well, it seems to damn work out.
Yeah. Shalky, your follow-up question there. Yes, it is about 2.5K to get into the Genesis auction. And also, when we first announced that, 2 trillion was around $700 or maybe even less. It has been a while since we've announced that. So, the early people did get their chances to snag their 2 trillion for cheaper. But overall, these Genesis
some people
NFTs,
paid 20 grand.
Yeah, exactly. But to really put it in perspective, these Genesis NFTs are no joke. They are nowhere close to the caliber of the base NFTs. Like, if you have your hands on these Genesis NFTs, you're doing really well for yourself.
Yeah, the utility is a multiple of a base NFT, and the only reason we're able to do that is because it's exclusive. Something that a lot of other protocols kind of tantalize people with is exorbitant returns, and they try to offer it to everyone, and that's impossible. It only happens, whether it happens because you got in early and you get to reap the benefits of everyone else joining after, or you structure it where it's a very exclusive thing to earn that much and to take that much of the share. And so since our Genesis collection is only 157 NFTs out of the total 10,000, that's only 1.57%. And so that's why those can earn much higher weighted returns. And that's a nice little buy of 800 billion alpha. I love that. Oh, if that's anyone in here, I love it. All right, we got a couple more questions, and then I do want to start seeing Natalie draw. I'm really excited about that. Oh, nice, Crypto. Thank you. I love it. Just an avid, constant supporter. I see you everywhere, man. Your support is duly noted. I want you to know that. All right, great. Fat Pajama. Let's see. Just holding base NFT is pretty exclusive. Like I said earlier, the revenue spread stick over 10K. Yes. And that's another thing too, is, you see other protocols trying to tokenize the ownership of protocols with 100,000 or 250,000. Yeah, we did 10,000 because based on real revenue numbers, it actually makes sense. And again, even that 10,000 is very exclusive. All right. Well, that's all I have. I think Crypto Kreller, you might have one more. Someone. Oh, you didn't do it. All right, guys. Well, I think this is good. I don't want to rush it to an ending, but I do want to hop in to see Natalie draw. I want to see this Ronin. I want you all to see this Ronin as well. But thank you again for hopping out to this AMA. This was really an exciting one. Whoever listens to this recording, you're going to get a lot of, you just did get a lot of alpha. But I will see you guys tomorrow in the NFT conference. And again, as you all know, we are open books here. We're easy to reach. We're very transparent. If you need anything, shoot us a DM. We can't DM you first. But see you guys later. Thank you all.